Well, y'all, if you're thinking about moving here to Louisville, you probably want to know what's the weather like, you know, and especially important if you're coming from somewhere far away or you're way up north. You're dealing with like tons of snow all the time, shoveling out of your driveway.
We get everything here.
Yeah. Are you down south where you never even see a snowflake, and when you do, you know, you got to go get the camera for those flurries going on. Hey, whatever the case is, we're going to run you through all 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. And that's what we're about to get after right now.
Hey guys, it's Neal Cox here with Judah Real Estate Group in Louisville.
And Jared Lash here. We're here with the Living in Louisville channel, y'all. We're making videos like this, giving you information about the area that you need to know. We're taking you out, showing you all the neighborhoods, suburbs, cities. We're doing all that here on this channel. If that's the kind of stuff you're looking for, you need to get down there while you're here. Hit that subscribe button and click the bell. That way you'll get notified when these videos come out, because you definitely don't want to miss those, especially if you are that person who really is thinking about making a move here to the Louisville area. And if that's you, you got to take it one step further.
You got to reach out. You've got to call. You've got to text. You've got an email, or pull out the bugle, sound the bugle, get it going.
Yeah, y'all. Whatever you got to do, we're gonna get off to the races to help you make that move here to Louisville. You know, if you don't reach out, we can't do that. So do that. Get in touch with us, and we're gonna take care of you here on that move. Now, Neal, we're talking about the weather in this video, and it's a big important thing. You know, if you're you come from somewhere, you could be coming from somewhere that doesn't really experience 4 seasons, you know.
Exactly, and we do, and I'll explain more detail about that. Starting with the winter.
That's right, and you know, that's where we are now, and it is getting cold, so...
So winter around here, it is not crazy. You're not in Minneapolis, but you do have extremes. We do get snow in Louisville. We don't get tons of snow. The Ohio River, through some magic, protects us from having a huge snowfall that maybe places in Ohio get, that's just a little to the north of us. Yeah,
I mean, and there's, you know, it does snow. There's some snow still on the ground right now. It's, you know, probably 40-something degrees today, but it does happen. Snow does happen here, but I'd say the roads are generally,
generally good. They'll take care of them around here. When it snows, you might have, the first several hours where the roads are tough, but then they get out, they treat them, they take care of them. We had, this past year, an ice storm. Started out as rain, so they couldn't treat the roads, so it got kind of tricky there for a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say generally, though, they're able to take care of that most of the time. And if you're coming from, like me, I'm from farther down south, so to me, the slightest little bit of snow could shut down everything. If you're coming from, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, you know what I'm talking about. Here, we're a little bit more equipped to handle that. But also, if you're coming from Chicago, Minneapolis,
it's gonna be a lot milder.
Yeah.
And people, though, are not equipped to driving it here. So if you're driving out in the winter and there is snow, be prepared for people that are driving way slower or way more cautious than even the conditions warrant.
Yeah, but the big thing here, I think, is you're not going to just be spending, endless amount of time in the winter shoveling snow.
Absolutely not.
Usually, I mean, I guess there can be fluke things happen all the time. But generally, I'd say it's a pretty enjoyable winter. You get to see the snow, which if you're coming from the south like me, if you're a kid from Texas, it's kind of fun to see that.
Yeah.
So
it'll hang out in the 20s and 30s generally as the lowest. Sometimes it gets a little colder, but it won't generally stay there for a long time.
Yeah.
And then, you might have a crazy day where it's 40, 50 degrees in the winter. It's unpredictable. That's really the key to Louisville weather. Yeah,
and so the seasons kind of shifting from one to the next also kind of fluctuates, and you get a little back and forth. But when are you kind of easing out of winter? Now you're finally in the spring, or what do you think about the spring?
Spring is my favorite day of the year in Louisville. It usually happens during the week. If spring comes on a weekend, we're stoked. Really, spring is a fairly short season around here. It almost feels like it goes from cold to hot almost overnight. We get a few weeks, if we're lucky, of really that nice kind of windbreaker weather where it's sunny and you're outside walking and everybody's happy, and it just doesn't last that much. It rains in the spring a bunch. You get some extreme weather here, although some of the weather patterns over the past decade or two have shifted a bit. I think we used to get tornadoes more often than we do now.
Yeah.
Those have kind of shifted.
Virginia recently had some come through close to the area here, you know.
Yeah, they weren't in Louisville, and it was in December of 2021. And
December tornadoes.
Yeah, December tornadoes. And it was really destructive in some areas in Kentucky.
Yeah. Luckily, though, dodged that here at least for the most part.
Absolutely.
You know, no big issues there. But we're getting kind of, you know, spring, little weather change. You're always going to have a little bit of, you know, any transitionary time like that, especially when it's warming up in the spring, to get that. But we're kind of getting to the summer now where it's really going to warm up, and I think we got to do this one more time. Do you think, can we do this again? And so you have to be really good at going back and forth on that because of these fluctuations, hot, cold. You'll get those sometimes.
Absolutely.
So that's how we perfected that trick. But anyway, getting into the summer, and you know, even though we're not in the deep south here, it still gets hot.
It gets plenty hot. You'll have plenty of days of 90 degrees plus in Louisville. It will get up to 100 occasionally. It doesn't usually hang out there. The thing about here, though, is we're in a river basin. The Ohio River runs there, so it is humid. It is very humid here, and it is that humidity makes it feel even hotter on a regular basis.
Yeah. So if you're, you know, again, I have to compare this to like where you're coming from. If you're coming from the south, farther south, the deep south, you're probably used to some of that humidity. If you're moving from out west or up north, it may be kind of a little surprise to you, and you'll see that even though maybe it's 80 degrees, and you think, well, 80 degrees isn't that bad, but if it's 80 degrees and really humid, it can feel really hot. It
does. I run hot just generally. This is me personally. I sweat all summer long. Just I start off, my baseline is to be hot, so when I'm outside, I'm walking around, I'm doing something, I start getting a little moist. Maybe sit in the air conditioner a little bit longer and cool down before I go do the next thing. It's not too bad, but it definitely is something you have to deal with.
Yeah, I don't mind the warmth. I don't mind even getting out sweating a little bit, as long as I plan for it. You know, if I'm trying to be inside and clean all day, I don't want to get out there and get sweaty.
I do not love when I'm showing a whole bunch of houses in a row during the summer, and you can't be in the car for a long period of time and cool down, and you're in and out, in and out. Good. It's not my favorite, but
gotta deal with it.
You just do it. Yep.
But you know, summer, you know, will let up eventually, and as we kind of get into, what'd you say, September?
Late September is about when the real fall kicks in around here, and I'm like kind of a basic white girl. I love the fall.
Fall's my favorite time of year too.
It is, and fall around Louisville is gorgeous. The temperature drops significantly. The humidity drops, and it's generally a lot sunnier. The spring, you get a lot of that. The storms rolling through. The fall is usually a lot more stable, and you know, you'll be 60, 70 degrees, sunny, less humid, beautiful, great time of year.
That's what I like, because you can actually get outside, you can enjoy the weather, you're not sweating as soon as you walk out the door, and you can just enjoy the beautiful fall colors coming in.
Yeah. And I'm a dad, and a lot of sports get going in the fall again, and I love that because I don't want to sit in the middle of the summer in 100 degrees and watching a game, but when it's 75 and sunny and I'm out there watching a game, I love that.
For that reason, I never have been, I mean, I like baseball, but I've never been like the biggest baseball fan, because I'm not, it's going to hard to put me out in the sun in the summer and watch, but you know, in the fall, I'm football or basketball indoors, hey, let's go.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a favorite of mine around here too. That's to go down to U of L in the fall and check out their soccer team. It's either free or cheap depending on what they're doing. You can get really close. There's really high level Division I soccer, best seat in town.
Yeah. So hey, there's a lot of stuff to check out here in the fall, y'all, and you're gonna love it. So after fall, obviously we're back to the winter. So we've covered all 4 seasons. You know, if you want to know more about it, you got specific questions, just leave us a comment. You know, just if you got to ask us these questions, we'll answer you directly. We can send you a message. We can make another video. You know, some people, you know, if you have a question, other people probably have the same questions. So do that for us. If you got something from this video, make sure you do get down there, hit that like button. It does help us out with the YouTube algorithm so we can get this video out to more people like you. And you know, if you want to see more videos, again, hit that subscribe, click the bell, and then if you're doing all that, you watch to the end of the video, you're probably that person that is either seriously thinking about it or knows you're going to be moving here to Louisville. And if that's you, you got to take it one step further.
You got to reach out. Hit that email, hit that phone, text us, or pull out the bugle. Pull out the trusty bugle.
Yeah, whatever you gotta do, get in touch with us, because when you do that, when you sound that bugle, we're gonna get off to the races, helping you make that move here to Louisville. So that's gonna do it for this one. We've covered all 4 seasons. Thank you for watching again. We'll see you on the next one.
Happy fall.